Eminem is likely dropping his new album next week. We got a little bit of a teaser from him, and there's still a lot to discuss when it comes to this new album, The Death of Slim Shady. Now, if it's dropping next week, there's still a lot that we need to know about this. So let's move straight into this.
If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description.
Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So we know that Eminem is dropping a new album. He gave us a trailer a couple of weeks back that I covered, and we went over the title of this thing and what this whole narrative of this was. So it's called The Death of Slim Shady, COUP De GRÄCE, so that's like the last shot that you give an animal before it dies when you're hunting it. And in the trailer for this thing, we could see a police officer, an investigator that is trying to uncover this case of Slim Shady getting murdered. Now also then, metaphorically, M killing off his past alter ego of Slim Shady that's been dead for a very long time, but to maybe proceed into a new direction with his music. And it's said that it is dropping summer 2024, so in the next couple of months. Now, we never got anything, to really reveal a release date until now, but first of all, let's take a look at one more thing that happened before we take a look at if this is dropping next week, which was an obituary in the Detroit Free Press. So this again connected to Eminem being from Detroit, but in that newspaper there was an obituary for Slim Shady. Now if we zoom in a little bit closer on this, let's read this together. It's not like it doesn't reveal anything about the album, but it's still a little bit of lore that we have with this narrative. So it says Slim Shady made lasting impressions. Fans will never forget controversial rapper, a product of Detroit who began his career there as a rogue splinter in the nourishing underground rap scene of the mid to late 1990s. Shady first became a household name in 1999 with the debut of his playfully deranged single My Name Is, which, along with its uniquely eye-catching video, exposed the young artist and his lyrics to a wider audience. That audience was soon exposed to the extreme darkness of the muse/rapper as he led millions of music fans down a road that glorified a demonstrably nihilistic worldview. Ultimately, the very things that seemed to be the tools he used became calling cards that defined an existence that could only come to a sudden and horrific end. His complex and tortured existence has come to a close, and the legacy he leaves behind is no closer to resolution than the manner in which this character departed this world. May he truly find the peace in an afterlife that he could not find on earth. So this is obviously pretty interesting. Now people are guessing that this was made by Eminem, obviously, as kind of a little promo for the album, like a little Easter egg, and this made the rounds and all the different Shadyverse Instagram pages and stuff like that. But if you kind of read through it, obviously there is some biographical elements from Eminem in there. I mean, he ended his Slim Shady career. I mean, on the Eminem show and Encore, it wasn't so Slim Shady as either, but still there were elements on there, maybe like D12 as well. But then with his Vicodin overdose and him almost dying in 2005, it kind of concluded that era. Now we did get Relapse, I know, but after that, 2010, with their recovery and then moving on from there, it was kind of the new Eminem era, and we kind of concluded that also by him dropping that alter ego. And this is kind of also, referring to that. So it's not like he's literally dead, but maybe that is also metaphorically him coming to a close with that version of him, which is obviously what this album is about. Now, let's actually take a look at what I was talking about the entire time with this thing maybe dropping next week. So the last hint that we have is a post on social media from Eminem himself, so on the Marshall Mathers Twitter account, where he posted a screenshot of a messages, page where we could see that it says all contacts, and it's a rabbit with a, magician's hat. So I guess like a B-Rabbit kind of reference. And it does reference that in the message that is in there, which says, and for my last trick. And, there's not much to make of this, but the fact that Eminem doesn't casually just posts on social media, and the trick is referring to also the magician rabbit, but also when you take a look at the date, it says Friday, May 31st at 12 a.m. And Friday, May 31st is next Friday. And usually music drops on a Friday, and Eminem has done so as well. He's not one of those artists that we know he's dropping like a Tuesday. Like, this can very well be a normal Friday release. So this could mean that the album is dropping next Friday. So that would mean May 31st, Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, COUP DE GRÄCE is dropping. It is summer then, I guess, So he did come through on that promise. I expected it to drop a little bit later. We don't even have a single yet. And that is also what a couple of people were criticizing about this. They were like, don't do a surprise release. Music to be Murdered By, his last full-length LP, was a surprise release already. Kind of work for that, but people maybe also wanted a little bit more lore, a little bit more narrative with this new album, especially since he also dropped an entire trailer for this thing, which did kind of give us a little hint that, it could be a little bit more than just, oh, here's this album. But, I mean, at least he announced it, so that's a pretty good sign. I think Music to Be Murdered By wasn't even announced. Correct me if I'm wrong. Early 2020, I think January or February when that dropped. But this thing at least got announced, and we have some hints here or there. But still, it could just also be a single. That's what I've seen a couple of people say as well. But then it wouldn't be. And for my last trick, the last trick could be a reference to his last album, the last Slim Shady album. That's all that I'm reading into this, but definitely let me know your interpretations of this in the comments. But still, whether it's a single, whether it's an announcement, or the album, we're getting something next Friday. Now, honestly, I could see this album dropping. He is someone that could just do a surprise drop. I would be cool with the single as well, though, but we have to wait until next Friday to actually see that. Something cute that I did want to put at the end of this video is that his daughter, Haley, obviously, she got married just a couple of days ago, and there were pictures of Em at the wedding as well, and, dancing with her. So I just wanted to put that in here because Haley obviously also played a pretty big role over the course of his career. I mean, that was one of the points that M never joked about, and that he ended a couple of careers over. So, I just wanted to put that in there. But when it comes to the music, we gotta wait until next week. I'll keep y'all updated if anything develops, if anything happens. But until then, I want to know what y'all think about this. What do you think is happening on May 31st? Do you think the album, the single? Do you think that it's just an announcement? Let me know all your thoughts on this in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.